Alright, let's try Fallout New Vegas one last time. If you saw my last video, you know what happened. I didn't get very far in the game before it basically exploded. Some said it was Epic Games' fault, others blamed my GPU, a few said I was the problem. So this time, I bought New Vegas again on Steam and installed the Viva New Vegas mod list. This is very highly recommended, but of course with my luck, there are gonna be issues. The sky was pitch black. Why is it dark out? It's 9 a.m. Textures glitched, and it decided to crank up the difficulty to nightmare mode. It was so hard, I couldn't even leave the starting area. Okay, insta-dead. All I want is to play New Vegas. That's it. Which apparently is a lot to ask for. I've been tweaking and troubleshooting for over a month. Since then, I've built and broken 4 characters just trying to get this thing working. So, for attempt number 5, I named my character Fives, after the GOAT. But it's more than just his name, it's also the build. I'm mainly saying this to cover my ass from people roasting me in the comments. This isn't a bad build, it's a thematic build. Fives is a sneaky, science-savvy soldier with a talent for energy weapons and explosives. Unfortunately, he has dreadful charisma, wasn't able to convince a single person about the chips, but overall, a good soldier. Of course, that also means I'm going out of my way to serve the Republic, the new California Republic. If you're new to the channel, I don't use online guides or walkthroughs on these first playthroughs. Everything you see is 100% blind, except for your comments. So here it is, my first, kind of second, attempt at Fallout New Vegas. After finishing the tutorial, I'm told by Sunny to head over to the saloon. Here we witness a fight between Cobb and Trudy. Remember how I said this is my 5th attempt at trying to get New Vegas to work? Well, because of that, I ended up spending a lot of time in Goodsprings. I've done most, if not all, of the quests in this tiny starting town at least 3 times. On my 4th attempt, I sided with the Powder Gangers to assault the town. In my first video, I sided with Ringo, but because I didn't explicitly showcase this quest, people assumed I skipped it. So, as I will for most of these quests, I will explicitly tell you about each one I do. For this 5th attempt, I shot Joe in the head before he could even finish his conversation. I've never done that before, it had some cool dialogue I hadn't seen, and that was that. I fixed Trudy's radio, spoke to Victor, and then I went around recruiting everyone I could to help defend the town. After our little skirmish, I was idolized and was able to set out exploring the open world. Usually at this point, the mod list has some issues or crashes forcing me to start over, but so far, smooth sailing. Obviously, since you're watching this video, you can assume this run was stable, but from now on, I'm in unknown waters. 99% of the content is completely new to me. Speaking of, there's one guy right outside Goodsprings who wants me to rescue his daughter. Being the good soldier I am, I follow his directions only to find it completely overrun with geckos. After clearing it out, I check for any traces of his daughter. Okay, I don't know where his daughter is. Is this him?
Sorry, I tricked you.
The biggest takeaway from this quest is this bad boy here, the Recharger Rifle. This has unlimited ammo and some pretty crazy damage for this early in the game. You'll see me using it a lot.
Holy shit!
After selling some of my loot in Goodsprings, I decide to head east after seeing what can only be described as a sign from the Divines. Although I was left somewhat empty-handed after exploring these locations, I did pick up a signal from the Black Mountain radio station. From what we can hear, it sounds like 2 super mutants are having a little talk show talking about how much they hate humans and want to see us all dead. Off to give these racists a good old-fashioned talking to.
It's weird in this game they also have a lot of invisible walls, and like big thing in Elder Scrolls is being able to go anywhere, but you can't jump over or onto a lot of this rock.
I meet a very friendly super mutant, Neil, who seems quite evolved compared to what I experienced in Fallout 3. In that game, the most intelligent was Hawks, and he still spoke like a caveman. Neil tells me this place used to be an open-minded, safe house for mutants all over, but now there's a new leader Tabitha in charge who's much more severe. He warns me to ignore it and turn around, but like a white woman on Twitter, I can't let racism go unpunished. Unfortunately, due to Fallout's somewhat restrictive open-world exploration, I couldn't scale up the mountain like I wanted to. There were a load of invisible walls around this area, and I was still too weak to take on the enemies, so I tried to sneak around as best I could. Luckily, there is a back path up to the radio station that's not blocked by invisible walls. All I had to do now was find a way in, and I instantly alerted the guards. After cheesing several kills on mutants, probably way above my level, I was able to snag some serious loot.
Yeah, look at the difference. This does 28 damage per... Okay, yeah, this rifle is way better than what I have now. Oh my god, I one-shot him. This gun is overpowered.
Breaking my way inside, I hacked into the computers to discover a secret key to Tabitha's control room upstairs and gaze upon this absolute beauty.
Okay, yeah, this might be hard. Okay. What about dynamite? What if you just throw a bunch of dynamite? Okay.
It took me several tries to actually kill her, but after burning through all of my meds, I was able to take her down. She gave me enough XP for 2 whole level ups, so I'm pretty sure I was a bit underleveled. She also had a key which allowed me to open a bunch of chests scattered around this base for some insane equipment. After getting a huge boost to my power level, I set out to Primm to follow the checkered suit dude who shot me at the start. My first impression of Primm in my last video was that it was pretty boring with not much to do, and that opinion doesn't really change. I rescue the deputy from the bad guys and finally get to use my newly acquired arsenal.
Okay, I think we got him.
He asks me to appoint a mayor, and the first NPC I speak to does it. No questions asked, just because my science is good enough. Ironically, there's another quest this robot offers that my science wasn't high enough to do, so maybe I'll have to come back once I'm leveled up a bit. Besides that, I couldn't find much to do in Primm. The NCR doesn't want anything to do with me despite me basically begging to join them. Some people tried to mug me in the casino, which I solved with another well-placed missile. There's one building I kept trying to enter, and unfortunately, it kept crashing my game.
Oh, I guess Viva New Vegas can only do so much, man. It just says it's not responding in my task manager, so I guess something happened. I don't know what.
After several restarts and some tinkering, I was able to enter it and found a dilapidated robot thing. My repair and science were too low to fix it, however, it only required some basic materials to repair, so with any luck, I would find them in my adventures. Sorry, I was trying to be dramatic. Yeah, I found them like 20 minutes later in the next town. His bonus isn't great since I already have max perception, but he does play music, so he's like a little flying jukebox with a gun. Unfortunately, this little machine is quite loud, so I can't really sneak up on enemies anymore. Fortunately for us, there is an electronic companion that doesn't ruin our gameplay. This video's sponsor, Red Magic, and their cutting-edge gaming tablet, the Red Magic Astra. Look, you guys know me. I'm a Zoomer who grew up on mobile games, so trust me when I say this, if you're into mobile gaming at all, it doesn't get better than this. The Red Magic Astra is the ultimate portable powerhouse engineered for performance, stunning visuals, and top-of-the-line gaming. With a beautiful 9-inch OLED screen, you can play your favorite games in 2.4K resolution at 165 Hz. Look at the specs on this thing. It's better than my laptop. On top of all this beef, the Astra also has state-of-the-art cooling with a massive battery for over 30 hours of continuous regular use. If you can even drain the battery on this thing, the fast charging capabilities can charge from 0 to 100 in 71 minutes. Even if you're not a mobile gaming enthusiast like myself, the Red Magic Astra has industry-leading low latency casting so you can play anything you want from anywhere. Going off the grid? No problem. I'm playing Morrowind offline at 165 Hz 2.4K resolution. Look, if you're in the market for portable gaming, you can't beat the Red Magic Astra. Do yourself a favor and check it out with my link in the description. Thank you to Red Magic for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to New Vegas. On my way to Novac, I get distracted by this cool monument thing. Turns out, it's an NCR outpost. I speak with the clerk and use my masculine charm to get him to give me some information.
So I picked this one because I figure, the clones in Star Wars, they really only have experience talking to other men.
He tells me where I can find work, but also offers to repair my gear for free, which just straight up doesn't work. Classic New Vegas spaghetti code. Anyway, it's time for Fives to finally serve the Republic. I kill some ants, and then am tasked with scouting a nearby town of Nipton.
Oh shit, this place. Last time I just happened to stumble across here, and I kind of low-key allied with Caesar's Legion.
In this playthrough, I'm really trying to flex New Vegas' sandbox. People told me the replayability factor is off the charts, so I'm trying to pick the opposite option for whatever I did in my first run. Since I kinda sided with the Legion in my last video, You already know what's coming.
So I think it's time for a little bit of Annabelle.
I try to save these people hung on the crosses, but the game wouldn't let me. I do a little more exploring, find some interesting lore about the previous mayor and what led to the town's collapse, and reported my findings back to the NCR, finally hoping to become a member. I get a pat on the back and nothing else. As I said, in my first playthroughs, I try to play these games blind without looking at the internet, so at this point, I kind of assumed they weren't a joinable faction, like the Brotherhood in Fallout 3. I was disappointed, but I moved on to Novac.
I just realized the town's called Novac because it's a no vacancy sign that's missing half the letters. Hey, is that Victor over here?
I talk to the dude in the dinosaur, and with the power of incel persuasion, he points me the right way. So, last video, I didn't showcase this mission for good reason. I thought it was largely uninteresting, save the finale. I got the achievement on Epic Games and everything, I just thought it was a DLC add-on since it felt a little out of place. The gameplay loop for this mission in particular is pretty repetitive, and I'm going to speed this whole hour down to 10 seconds. Talk to a guy, kill some guys. Talk to a guy, kill some guys. Talk to a guy, you won't guess what comes next. Kill some guys. Talk to a super mutant. Talk to a ghoul. Find dead body. Talk to ghoul. Kill guy. Talk to guy pretending to be ghoul. Fetch quest item 1. Return. Fetch quest item 2. Return. And then there's a pretty awesome finale. You could see why in my last video, when I had to compress 10 hours of footage to 25 minutes, this one simply didn't make the cut. Anyway, as I said, I'm trying to do the opposite of all my choices, and with high science combined with a comic book, I was able to do some devious things.
All right. I mean, I said I was going to do the opposite of what I did last time. Oh, no.
This was pretty funny, but now that I've seen both endings, I'm happy there is a way to skip it. And to be honest, props to New Vegas for letting you. I could totally see that mission getting super tedious if you had to do it over and over again on each playthrough. It's cool that they thought of that. I wish Bethesda did that for Diplomatic Immunity in Skyrim. God, that quest blows chunks. Okay, so we're still in Novac, and one thing I've heard a lot of praise about is New Vegas's companion system. You guys told me on my last video there's a guy called Boone in this town that belongs to the NCR and hates the Legion. Seems like a good fit for this playthrough. Boone is the Night Watch guard for Novac and enlists my help to uncover what happened to his wife. He believes the Legion came in and stole his wife while he was on duty, but his bigger problem is he knows someone in Novac set it up and betrayed him. After a little investigation, the crazy guy tells me he saw some mole men come up from underneath the ground and snatch her. I search around the hotel front desk and find a safe behind the counter. In it is a bill of sale with some pretty unfortunate details.
The motel owner sold the guy's wife? Sum of 1,000. And those of her unborn child. She sold a pregnant woman to mole men? Oh my god, Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
We lead our primary suspect to the kill zone, and Boone takes care of it.
Oh!
He thanks me for my help and joins my team. I don't know if there's a limit to companions in New Vegas, but I seem to be allowed 2 at a time. I prefer just one, so I parted ways with my flying boombox. On Boone's quest, you have to speak to a lot of the townsfolk. There's a couple quests I completed, I'll just breeze through them real quick so you don't think I skipped them. I stopped a super mutant from killing some cows, I investigated an NCR outpost that was slaughtered by the Legion.
Oh, for fuck's sake, that scared the shit out of me.
I also got approached by some dude yapping about bottle caps and mysterious treasure. Just north of Novac, however, is a place called Helios One. I've heard this location referenced several times in the story so far, and luckily for me, it's under NCR control. Although, they did say they had to slaughter a bunch of Brotherhood members.
Oh shit. Wait, are the NCR and Brotherhood of Steel opposed to each other? I do like the Brotherhood of Steel, not a huge fan that the NCR is opposed to it.
This is some kind of massive power plant, and the NCR wants to get it back up and running to divert power to their primary bases of operation. I'm directed towards an idiot wearing sunglasses who does indeed seem to be a little out of his depth. Fantastic name though. He tells me I need to realign 2 relays outside to get the plant up and running. One is easy to hook up, but the other requires level 75 science, which I'm a few levels off from. So far, I have found New Vegas does a very good job at making sure it doesn't stonewall you by providing multiple ways to do a quest. I couldn't find the other way to do this one. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comments. However, I do have pretty crazy OCD when it comes to quests like this. It was eating at me that I left something unfinished. So on my next level up, I grabbed the instant level perk and shoved a load of points into science. I'm not here to min-max, I'm here to enjoy the questing and stories, so I think it's a worthy sacrifice. After hacking the terminal with my newfound scientific prowess, I need to go inside the main tower and flip the control switch. The Brotherhood of Steel activated the defense systems before they were flushed out, so I had to battle my way through. The main computer needs a little more juice to turn back on, but my repair is too low to fix it. However, with a little exploring, I find a robot I can fix with my science who's able to repair it for me. Again, I really like this multiple approach system they have here. In Fallout 3, it felt like if you had the wrong stats, you literally could not do certain quests. Anyway, I set up the grid, enabled the defenses, and flipped the switch. Did I get infamy or anything? Oh! The fuck? What the hell? What just happened? What? I did what they wanted to do. What? Some guy's leg flew all the way up here. Is it because I enabled the defense system, maybe? And it just nuked them? I don't know how or why that happened. Yeah, so turns out that Death Star beam is this Archimedes thing that I accidentally turned on. I thought it was going to reprogram the robots to fight for the NCR just like the Brotherhood did, but I guess not. Again, I'm not looking up stuff online to have the authentic first-time experience, so I assume there's some lore or mini-quest regarding this beam of doom. Luckily, I had an autosave, so I was able to set it up correctly and get some fame with the Republic. After trekking a bit more through the story, I stumble upon New Vegas. If you see my last video, you already know the first thing I was gonna do. Oh my god, I have been looking forward to this more than anything else. Shit. Fucking, are you kidding me? Oh my god. What? Are you kidding me? What are these hands? I just lost everything. Damn it. Wow. Are you out of your goddamn mind? This game fucking sucks, man. Oh my god. Dude, they put a cooldown on my gambling? What the hell? Fine, I guess I'll play roulette. I can't play roulette. They literally are giving me a break because I've been gambling for too long. I can't even use this machine. They're making me think about my choices in a video game. Oh my god. Did Viva New Vegas add that? Because they did not have that cooldown in original Vegas, and I played for hours. Is this what people mean when they say woke ruins video games? You know, I've never understood or sympathized with that term before, but restricting a simple man from gambling? We're crossing a line here. After getting absolutely rinsed by the casino, I still luckily had enough caps to be allowed onto the strip. I meet Victor again, who says Mr. House wants to speak with me. It's around this point Boone completely disappears, by the way. If that's a bug and you know how to fix it, please let me know. He literally never shows up again. Anyway, as I said, my goal is to do the opposite of what I did last time, so I went in knowing I was going to shoot down the house any chance I got. Not interested. I'll see myself out. After leaving Mr. House in shambles, I get approached by an NCR courier with a letter from the ambassador who wants to meet with me as soon as possible. On my way there, I discovered my first vault of Fallout New Vegas. Kinda. Ultra Lux. Vault 21? That's not a vault, is it? That's probably just a name for like a restaurant or something. I low-key forgot vaults were even in this game. They are way less frequent than 3 and significantly less relevant to the story, which sucks. I think the vaults are one of the coolest things about Fallout, especially with their wacky experiments. Speaking of, I learned Vault 21 would have been heaven for someone like me. Essentially, this vault had an intensive gambling culture. If you had a problem, you just hit the slots, which is exactly what I do in real life. I wasn't prompted with a quest or anything, but I was told that Mr. House essentially kicked out all of the vaulters from their home and filled in a massive portion of it with concrete. Hopefully that comes up later in the story, because that's kind of interesting. Anyway, the ambassador wants me to negotiate some kind of treaty with Daggerfall fans. Sorry, I mean boomers, who are apparently stockpiling munitions that would be a great assistance for the Republic. I try my best to sneak onto their base. Oh shit. Oh my god. And after a few tries, finally make it. The matriarch of the boomers wishes to speak with me and offers me some work to do in return for her trust. There's a couple fetch quests here, but to summarize, you gotta kill some ants, fix some solar panels, find some spare missiles, and tour the museum. The museum bit was by far the most interesting. You learn the boomers come from Vault 34, where everyone had guns, but the really big explodey ones were banned by the Overseer. Obviously, the boomers weren't too happy about that and overthrew the vault. Their final objective is to get an old bomber up and running, and that's exactly what our next objective is. Now that we've earned their trust, they want our help recovering an old plane sunk on the bottom of a lake. Honestly, the underwater area looks really nice. You know, it's a pretty drastic contrast compared to the desert, which is just, it looks the same no matter where you are. This is like a new biome, you know? Wasteland Survival Guide. Okay, am I tripping, or is that the book we made in Fallout 3? I feel like the Wasteland Survival Guide, isn't that Moira's quest? Isn't the thing you do in Fallout 3 creating the Wasteland Survival Guide? After fumbling around trying to interact with the plane, I attached the floaters and triggered the detonation. Oh, that's pretty cool. We've earned the trust of the boomers, who will now join the NCR in the battle for Hoover Dam against the Legion. I informed the ambassador of the good news and am finally liked by the NCR. Oh my god, I've been doing quests for these guys for like 4 hours, and now they finally like me. Next thing he has me do is solve a petty dispute between the King's Gang and the NCR citizens of Freeside. Oh my god, what is happening? I'm able to negotiate a somewhat peaceful resolution and am finally tasked with reporting to the Colonel at Hoover Dam. Since I'm companionless at this time, I decide to pick up the most requested person, Veronica. After using her for a bit, I don't know why you guys like her so much. Get him, Veronica. Go! Get his ass. Okay, I mean, it's cool, I guess. She doesn't do a lot of damage, though. I will be honest, that took a lot. She didn't ask me to do a quest. She kind of stinks in combat, and her perk is a portable workbench, which I don't really need. She's also a member of the Brotherhood of Steel, which poses a potential problem for my character. On my way to Hoover Dam, I run into a couple of walls. Literally. Why do they do this? Why? It's like barely... I don't understand. Anyway, the Colonel wants me to make sure the Great Khans don't join up with the Legion to aid their attack, and sends me to dispose of them. I get to witness more of Veronica's combat. Where is she going? What? The enemies are over here. Go fight them. Like, she does no fucking damage. Oh, Veronica, man. I just miss Boone. I want Boone back. I don't know where he went. He left me. Veronica, can we please do something? Please, I'm begging you. Do anything. I may as well be solo.
Over here.
You literally just have to kill like 30 people and the quest pops. Pretty simple. The next mission, I must admit, I didn't really understand or enjoy. It felt really out of place for the NCR story. One of the casinos on the strip is up to something, quote unquote. You do a little investigative mission, slowly piecing together what they're up to, and the mission ends by killing the two heads of the casino. The level layout for this building sucks balls. It has so many hallways, doors, elevators, and the quest marks just have a really hard time working on instances with multiple vertical levels. It took me over an hour to do this mission, and most of it wasn't fun at all. I was able to arrest a serial killer guy after finding some evidence in his room. That was cool. I liked the fact I could talk to the NCR and have them arrest him, but I felt like this whole mission could have been skipped and nothing of value would have been lost. However, after this mission, we are dropped with a bombshell. Mr. House has been up to some nefarious activities, and the Colonel wants me to remove him from the equation. I guess we are going to kill Mr. House. This is a pretty massive difference compared to the story that I did last time. I'm quite impressed by the different path I'm able to take here. It takes me a while to finally figure out where the secret room is, but I eventually find the security panel and with my high science, gain access to the secret room. Oh no! Oh my god, these guys are strong. Really, really strong. I don't even know how to hurt them. I got a missile. Okay, well, that did do the trick.
Hold on. Now hold on. Just a moment.
Unseal LS chamber. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. What the fuck? Jesus Christ, man. I haven't really played enough to know if this guy's a bad guy. I'm assuming he is. I know from my first playthrough, Mr. House somehow orchestrated no nukes exploding on the strip.
So he knows or has something to do with like the nuclear apocalypse. I'm pretty certain. I don't think he's a good guy. I think he's probably, but I don't know if he deserves death, you know? I don't know enough about this character to make that decision, so I'll just do this one. Okay, there we go. Disable cerebral interface.
If this statement is being broadcast, I am deceased.
I didn't want to kill him. No, he is alive. He is moving. How come I lost karma for that? I picked like the most humane option, and I lost karma for it. So I thought I kind of did the nice thing and let him live, but I guess that wasn't a nice option. It's confirmed that once I get back to the NCR, I did indeed let him live, so I'm not sure why that was an evil option. Maybe he's so evil, the good thing to do is kill him? I don't know. My next mission with the NCR is to wipe out the entire Brotherhood chapter, which really sucks. According to her, there's no peaceful solution. I have to go full guns blazing. Keep in mind, my companion is a Brotherhood member, so I knew this wasn't going to end well. After finding their hideout, Veronica finally does something.
Hold on, I've got this.
We're granted access inside and are greeted by Ramos, who says the Elder wants to talk with me. I navigate this maze and finally find the Elder, who asks if I want to join the Brotherhood. I decline, but he offers me no other dialogue options to solve this issue diplomatically. I go around talking to every NPC I could find to hopefully find a way to not slaughter everyone in here. But while I'm doing that, I notice several turrets around the base and locate the console to reprogram their targets to Brotherhood members, and all hell breaks loose.
Definitely sounds like something happened. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
As predicted, Veronica isn't happy with my actions, but that doesn't stop her from absolutely rocking the shit out of her friends.
Uh-oh.
Oh my god! What a fucking punch.
After an absolute brutal rampage, Veronica leaves me to deal with the rest of the chapter myself. For whatever reason, this completely broke my game, and I have no idea why. I spent over an hour exploring every nook and cranny of this place so I could complete the quest, and it just wouldn't pop. Unless someone clipped into the wall, there's no one else here. I would spam sleep to spawn enemies, which worked, but it didn't count for the quest. The icing on the cake? I can't leave. Someone locked the door to the bunker when my killing spree began, and my lockpicking is way too low to even try it. I don't know what to do, and since I don't want to look up anything online to spoil myself, this is where I'm going to end the video. Trapped in a goddamn bunker with no way out. If you know how I'm supposed to escape, or there's something I'm supposed to do that's not listed in the quest, please let me know in the comments. I'm just going to be stuck here until further notice. I want to talk about my final first impressions of Fallout New Vegas. As someone with no nostalgia or rose-tinted glasses, does it deserve all the glazing it gets? I've played around 25 hours of New Vegas now. This video makes up for over 16 of those. I gotta say, Viva New Vegas and New Vegas are completely different games. If you follow my channel for Elder Scrolls content, which is what I mainly do, I'd tell you to turn around and run away from base game New Vegas. It is by far and away the least stable game I have ever played in my life. Even the Steam reviews are like, great game, but it barely works out of the box. Now, if you're comfortable with modding, this changes things drastically. If it's not clear from the start of the video, I am not great with modding. It took me over a month to get this game in a playable state, and that was with the help of a pre-made mod list. However, as you can see by this video, you can get it to work. Most of the time. Of course, there's still crashing, bugs, and whatnot, but I use this word intentionally. It is exponentially more enjoyable on Viva. Those are all comments on the technical side of the game. So let me tell you what I think of New Vegas, assuming it's fully functional. Objectively, I think New Vegas captures the role-playing aspect better than most, if not all, Bethesda games I've tried on this channel. Morrowind for me is the only contender, but I haven't played enough of New Vegas to know if it surpasses it or not. The story is liquid. I still can't really wrap my head around it. It's not just a unique ending for the game, it's entirely new stories. This was completely lost to me on my first run, but now that I've kind of played it twice, it's insane. Weapon diversity. Thank God they fixed this over Fallout 3. That game might have the worst set of weapons in any video game I've ever played. There's like 12 guns. New Vegas, you've got loads of variety, unique weapons, attachments, different ammo bonuses. It's unreal the level of customization here. The environment design, I'm personally not a fan of. I don't like desert. I think it's the most boring biome possible. It's so monotonous and uninteresting, it all blends together. Morrowind, Oblivion, even Fallout 4, I found myself just stopping to take in the scenery. Never once did that happen in New Vegas. The only noteworthy stuff was the Great Khan's Mesa, which is just red desert, and that 30-second underwater portion. This world is ugly, devoid of color and texture. You expect a degree of that in a post-nuclear world, but also deciding to set it in a desert is just insult to injury in my opinion. The actual world design, however, I did enjoy. I think the Strip is amazing, and that's coming from someone who's been there in real life. Hoover Dam was also really cool to see. The towns and cities are also well designed. For a Fallout game, this world was the most fun to explore. However, it's not a secret, I don't like how Fallout does their point of interests compared to Elder Scrolls. A lot of the times you'll see a ping on the map for a new location, and it's just a pile of garbage with maybe an enemy or two and a bottle of water. Why even put this stuff on the map? In Elder Scrolls, if you see a location on the compass, there's something you can do there. In Fallout, you're rolling the dice. I get it's a nuclear wasteland, but half of these marked locations should 100% be unmarked. Only positive I see for this system is it makes fast travel more convenient. Minor questing in New Vegas is solid for a Fallout game. Minor questing I would classify as anything not main story or faction related. I picked up every single one I could on this run. There were a couple standouts in my 15 hours of gameplay, like the Helios power plant and the Boomer stuff. I don't know if that's main story or not. It was for the NCR questline. But I try my best to compare Fallout games to Fallout games. I'm personally not a huge fan of the formulaic side questing I feel this franchise has. Besides the 2 quests I mentioned, they rarely ever have an impact on the world, explain history, or tell a story. You think of the Come Fly Away With Me quest. There's no logical reason for it to have as much bloat as it does. You could trim that thing down to 15 minutes and make it a little more interactive rather than 30 minutes of brain-off shooting, and it'd be 10 times better, in my opinion, of course. If you guys wouldn't mind letting me know the names of some of the best side quests in New Vegas, I would love to do them, truly. I won't look them up online, but I'll make sure to keep my eye out when I'm picking up side quests, and it doesn't matter if it's short or long, I'm just looking for something with a little bit of substance. I would love to experience more of the cream of the crop. In conclusion, New Vegas is one of the worst Bethesda titles I've tried on this channel. Viva New Vegas is one of the best. The game itself is fantastic, but the software is horrible. If we hit 7,000 likes, I'll know you guys are interested in a part 2. If we don't, I'll just continue on my own time. I know I'm locked in this dungeon, waiting for you guys to comment and help me, but I'm really enjoying myself, and I'm definitely going to play regardless. It's just up to you guys if you want to see more of this or different games. Besides liking the video, if you enjoyed, be sure to subscribe for more videos just like this. This video specifically took me over 30 hours to record, voiceover, and edit, so I really appreciate the support. If you'd like to take it one step further, consider becoming a member. Everyone here gets early access to videos, exclusive polls, and special content, and is a great way to support me directly. Becoming a member is completely unnecessary, but I appreciate it all the more. Make sure to check out the videos on screen now. YouTube thinks you'll like them. This was Frostbreak, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.